narrative always is something we wrestle with on Palm Sunday. The Passion narrative and the dichotomy between triumphant entry and crucifixion is often a stark contrast that we are forced to sit with on this day in our liturgical year. But maybe more so than ever before, it is a stark reminder of how very quickly things can change, as if we needed a reminder. How quickly things can change. In the beginning of this Passion narrative, we see Jesus in triumphant entry, people going ahead of him to prepare the way, people throwing palms and coats and making great preparation to make his entrance into Jerusalem honored and revered, a parade of sorts to welcome this man who has clearly revealed God's power and authority in his teaching, in his healing, in the miracles. How quickly it changes to the challenges of the court, of Pilate, and Herod, and others. How quickly those who were the closest to Jesus moved from faith to doubt. Peter maybe astonishes himself in his denials, Judas in his betrayal, and how quickly those move from doubt to faith. The centurion at the cross who closes this Passion narrative with the words, "Surely this man is God's Son." And as we look at how everything can be so utterly disrupted, whether it's in this Passion narrative or in our own lives, I suppose the question on all hearts and minds is what matters most? And here too, I think this Passion narrative offers some clear direction from Jesus and the way that he lives while he is among us. If we look at what Jesus' actions and the way he's living reveals about what matters most, we can clearly rule out several things. Possessions, maybe on the top of the list. He sends someone else ahead to borrow apparently both a donkey and a colt. Now, this isn't supposed to evoke odd imagery of Jesus trying to ride them in tandem into the city of Jerusalem, but perhaps Matthew's insistence on the fulfillment of as many prophecies as possible. But in either event, and no matter which gospel we look to, it's clear that Jesus doesn't think that possessions are what matter most. And it's not titles either. Jesus is sometimes curious with the disciples who others might say that he is, but in each turn he relies on the witness or the proclamation of others. And even as Pilate and others confront him and they say, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus is quick to remind him it's they that have attributed titles to Jesus, not his own proclamation. What matters most? I would say clearly in this story, it's also not Jesus' inner circle. While he has relied on them and has great hope and expectation for their future, that they might carry forward the message and the way of living that he has shown them over the years of ministry that he has provided. Still, in this moment of great turbulence, it's not the inner circle that Jesus would say matters most. With Judas' betrayal, with Peter's denial, others scattering. In some sense, it's not even knowledge of God. He places some trust here in saying, even if we were to tell the crowd to be quiet, still all of creation would be shouting with praise. But no, I think what matters most is a trust that Jesus places in God. What matters most to Jesus isn't that God was capable of creating every piece of creation that we might set our eyes upon, even the creation that is impossible for us to see with the human eye, but instead a belief and trust in God that goes beyond all of creation. Believe and trust in God that cannot be seen. Now, certainly, our circumstances at present have forced us to acknowledge the reality of those things which we cannot see. We've changed our behavior tremendously, based on an understanding of things we cannot see. But I hope that this gospel, this passion narrative, might also disrupt our way of being. I hope that the words and actions of Jesus help us to evaluate what matters most to us. And as we seek, I hope that we look to Jesus, who marks a clear path towards God, not standing still, but in movement. May we each seek that which matters most. May we each seek and place trust and faith in a God beyond our seeing or understanding. May this Palm Sunday mark the beginning of our Holy Week, a week where we pursue the trust that we might hope to cultivate and seek to follow Jesus in all that we do.